Hi everybody, this is Big Boss Calvin 83. I I came across this article, just looking up stuff that's going on within current events, today's current events. And I saw this article, and I'm just very troubled by this. It's the way schools are run in this country. And it's funny how parents can't hit their children. And I'm not saying a parent should lay their hand on a child, a parent or guardian should lay their hand on a child. But it's funny how the government, with its hypocrisy, will allow police officers, law enforcement, and teachers who work with the government to lay their hands, are allowed to lay their hands on children, particularly our children as people of color. And no charges, they don't get in trouble for it. But if you as a parent lay parent or a guardian, or you hit a child, you go to jail. But these motherfuckers who are law enforcement and work in the school system, nothing happens to these motherfuckers. The government can do whatever the hell they want to do to your kids, and you can't do nothing about it. But you can't do anything to your kids. And I'm not saying you should harm a child, but the way the system should be set up, it should be across the board that nobody should harm a child. I don't give a damn what they did. That no kid deserves to be harmed or be had their hands laid on them or be taken advantage of. Like this, like this young brother. Georgia teen loses leg after teacher's body slam, attorney says. A 13-year-old boy had to have his right leg amputated after a contractor at a Columbus, Georgia school body slammed him repeatedly, an attorney for the boy's family said. Montrevious Thomas was injured in September after an employee at Edgewood Student Services Center body slammed him 3 times when Thomas tried to leave the classroom to call his mother. Family attorney Renee Tucker told CNN Thursday. Tucker says after the incident took place, officials of the school failed to provide Thomas with adequate medical care. At one point, school officials told the teenager an ambulance was on its way, but told him that he would have to ride a bus home and made him attempt to walk to the bus, the lawyer said. When it was clear Thomas could not walk to the bus, Tucker said the same contractor who disciplined him threw him over the shoulder and then carried him to the bus. Thomas' mother took him to the emergency room that night, and he was later airlifted to an Atlanta hospital. School district cites safety issues. The Muskogee County School District says the contractor involved in the incident, Brian Mosley, was a current worker and is no longer providing services to the district. Probably a Caucasian person harming black children again. But I digress. I'm not saying hey, Normally, is these Caucasian people harming our children, and I'm not saying that or a non-black person, based on how this person is being treated for harming that child. So I assume that it's a Caucasian person, likely. Mr. Mosley is specifically trained in Mindset Curriculum, a system of preventing and managing aggressive behavior, in the Georgia restraint requirements. Well, what are Georgia restraint requirements, I ask? Body slamming a child 3 fucking times because they want to leave the classroom. You know what? I swear. I digress. It is our understanding that there were issues concerning the safety of the child and others in the room, which called the use of restraint per state guidance, the district said in a statement. Edgewood Student Services is a school for students who have been temporarily removed from their current school because of behavior problems or breaking behavioral rules. An attorney for the company employing Mosley Mentoring and Behavior Sciences released a statement to CNN saying, we are certainly very concerned for Montravius, and our hearts go out to him. He and his family are in our prayers. The attorney, Robert Pordosh F. Jr. said in the statement that he had advised the company not to comment or speculate on the matter until we have completed our investigation. There's very little information to work from, Pordosh F. added. An attorney representing Mosley individually said he would not comment on the case. Student was face down on the floor, attorney says. Tucker said at one point Thomas was face down on the floor, Mosley's weight on top of him. She said Thomas had received an amputated. She said if Thomas had received adequate medical care shortly after the incident, his leg could have been saved. He's suspected to remain at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Egleston for at least 30 more days. He'll have an extensive occupational physical therapy in the coming months, Tucker said. Doctors performed several surgeries to try to restore blood flow to Thomas' right leg before having to perform amputation, the attorney said. School district to conduct review. The school district says is conducting a thorough review of the incident to determine all the facts and to make any necessary recommendations because of the safety of all students and all employees is a priority. Really? Muskogee County District statement says physical restraint is allowed in public schools and educational programs in those situations in which the student is in immediate danger to himself or others, and to the student is not responsible unless it's intensive behavior interventions. verbal directives, and other de-escalation techniques. The teen's attorney claims that the method mostly used is not part of the Georgia restraint guidance. It's not. The incident happened on Thomas' first day at Edgewood. Tucker said he been required to attend an alternative school for 4 days, having an issue with another student at his home school. She explained, adding that his family says he was not known for being violent or having outbursts at school, nor had to ever been restrained by a teacher in the past. Tucker has filed a request under Georgia's open records to obtain any video that may exist of the restraint and Tom's attempt to walk to the school bus, as well as his records, but has not yet received any response. The attorney said that while no charges or lawsuits have been filed yet, the family plans to move ahead with a civil suit near the future. Boy, I tell you, the way these teachers and the way the schools, the way this government and the way this treats children, especially children of color, especially so-called black young boys, because I'm not going to say he's a man, is ridiculous. It's unacceptable. There is no reason to body slam somebody 3 times because they want to leave the classroom. My thing is like, how is he a danger to the students from walking away from your classroom? This teacher was on a fucking power trip, and I'm assuming he is a Caucasian supremacist, was on his fucking power trip, and he can bully so-called black kids, particularly black boys, this black boy in particular, and think that he could just do whatever the hell he want to do and get bombed. And it really angers me that you would lay your hands on a child. And some of y'all are gonna say, "Well, he's 13." No, that's a child still. Okay, don't even try. Because had that been a Caucasian kid, they would have not done what they've done, and even if that would have happened, that kid would have received immediate medical care. Their school would have took him to the hospital, and this kid would not lose his leg if he was Caucasian. You know, man, I got to talk more about this, and I got to talk about my experiences in school, because a lot of teachers think they can bully black children. So-called black children, especially non-black teachers. They think we're dumb, we're stupid, but when they mention you're smart and intelligent, they treat you like shit. They treat you worse. You know, and don't give me that, well, the kids should have been compliant and all that nonsense, because like I said, you got Caucasian kids, particularly Caucasian boys, going into schools, shooting them up, killing kids and killing teachers, and they all make excuses and say, and pull that mental health card. But if a so-called black kid wants to walk away from the classroom, whatever dispute that he has with a teacher, it's okay for him to be harmed and even damn near killed by a teacher or a cop. I'm tired of the double standards. I'm so sick and tired of the America kick-a-cuss hypocrisy and how they treat certain individuals based on their skin color, and it needs to stop.